Now I thought he was kidding me. He came near the well and looked inside too. There was something at the bottom of the dark well.
Eating the meat.
Something was sitting there and chewing a piece of meat.
So on this channel, I like to do reactions for a variety of content. Horror stories are some of my favorite to react to. And a lot of the times I pull the stories from compilations of horror stories on other channels. So there'll be like 12 deep web horror stories or 3 creepy neighbor horror stories. Well, sometimes channels do like one horror story and then a part 2 in the same story arc, and Creepy Animated Stories has quite a few of these on his channel. We're gonna react to one that has recently done a part 2 today. So we're gonna react to part 1 and part 2 of The Creature in the Well. Again, it's by Creepy Animated Stories. Make sure to go over to his channel, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the animation. The Creature in the Well.
There was an old well near grandparents' house.
Like The Ring.
But as long as I can remember, no one drew water from there.
The movie.
Neither 10 years ago, nor 20.
Oh, wells are dangerous,
Even
man.
my grandfather said that there had been no water ever.
Okay.
My grandma scared us by saying that there was a hag in the well. We laughed at it for a long time with my brother Max.
She's probably just trying to keep him away. Like, honestly, the well should be sealed up, but you gotta tell kids stuff sometimes, some little fibs, some scary stuff to keep them away from something, you know, because kids, sometimes you can't really reason with them. Curiosity will get the best of them and they'll do stuff and go places that they're not supposed to. But if you scare them saying there's a hag in that well, monsters or whatever, kids ain't gonna approach that, be like, I ain't going, kick the ball in it, nope, sorry, we can't, you know?
She once told us a terrible story about this well.
Okay. Like The Ring?
This house was built by my grandfather back in 1952.
Alright.
My grandparents got married and moved to this new house, and my grandfather dug a deep well since there was no plumbing.
Right.
But he didn't get to the water. He said it was flagstone and let the digging go.
Huh.
The well was nailed down till better days, and water was drawn from a public water pump next to the house.
There you go.
One day, somebody started pulling out the boards from the well at night. Moreover, it was pulled out from the inside.
Oh.
Then, someone stole chickens and even sheep.
Uh-oh.
Grandfather refused to believe in hags and did not fill in the well, hoping that water would appear soon. And one night, or should rather say already in the morning, Grandma saw the very creature that climbed out of the well.
It's creepy looking.
It had pale skin, looked very thin, a bag of bones, and with huge fingers.
He kind of reminds me of SCP Shy Guy, you know? I forget the numbers, there's so many of them, but the one that if you look at a photo of it, it'll come get you. We reacted to one about that. We reacted to that SCP actually from Creepy Animated Stories a little while back.
Based on the description, it was very similar to the so-called rake.
The rake?
The well hadn't been filled in for many years, but it was nailed down with oak plants this time.
I've never heard
Grandparents
of
died, and that something in the well was forgotten.
Right.
My father, for some reason, did not know these stories at all. Then that house became something like a summer vacation spot for us. And one summer, I don't know how it popped into our heads, me and Max decided to take a look at this creature in the well with our own eyes. Of course, we did not believe in any hags, and we laughed over it. But we wanted so bad to capture a real rake on film.
Naturally.
That day, we asked our parents to spend the night outside in a tent. My father supported the idea of a sleepover outside, though my mother was against it.
Why?
In the yard we turned on a dim old lamp, so we could see at least something. My brother snatched a piece of meat to entice the creature.
Oh god. So, we loved having outdoor campouts and sleepovers at the house. You know, you just pitch a tent in the backyard and bring your sleeping bags and stuff and kind of act like you're camping. I lived in city limits when I was growing up, so we didn't have any fires, but when I started to get a little bit older, we ended up going out and to some local parks and fields where you could have little campfires and barbecues and stuff. And I remember that was some of the best times, man. just camping out with the boys at night and, you know, just relaxing under the stars and just doing campy stuff. Lots and lots of fun. They're gonna entice this creature with raw meat. How do we even know it eats raw meat? I guess it's a monster, so it eats flesh or whatever.
Night fell. When our parents turned the lights off in the house, we put a piece of raw meat on the boards and got into the tent. Nothing had been happening for almost 2 hours. Max
Boredom.
had finished his pack of chips and was already asleep, missing a chance to see the monster, and I barely kept my eyes open. Suddenly, I heard the noise of the sliding boards.
Oh,
I was numbed with terror.
he's after
I
the meat.
couldn't breathe. I had to wake my brother, but I was afraid to move. Having braced myself up, I overcame my fear and shook him from sleep. I put my finger on my lips to shush him and pointed to the old well. Max looked at me with his eyes wide open. We tried not to breathe, although the breathing and the heart beating seemed very loud to us.
Uh-huh. When you're
Having
scared,
heard
it does.
nothing else, my brother threw his hands up and whispered what the hell I had woken him up for nothing. I said that I'd heard the noise of the sliding boards at the well. He didn't believe me and suddenly jumped out of the tent.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to grab his pants, but I didn't.
Not good.
I shivered in my boots, but then I got out of our shelter. I didn't see Max anywhere,
What?
and I started panicking. Then he scared me from behind and
Oh.
exploded with laughter.
You little sucker! You had me thinking that you was abducted or something and I was worried about you, and now all of a sudden you're gonna come and play a trick on me. If Mama blames us for the stolen ribeye, I'm calling you out. I'm gonna say it was your idea. I'm sorry.
He didn't believe that I heard something, and he went straight to the well. The meat wasn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Max accused me of hiding the meat and wanting to scare him.
Could have been an animal too.
And to prove that he wasn't afraid of anything and didn't believe me, he decided to look into the well. I tried to talk him out of it, but he was determined. He moved aside all the boards and looked inside. He
Flashlight?
froze. I asked him why he wasn't talking, but he wasn't answering. Now I thought he was kidding me. I came near the well and looked inside too. There was something at the bottom of the dark well.
Eating the meat.
Something was sitting there and chewing a piece of meat.
He
I
was
was
hungry.
afraid even to scream. But my brother was standing still and was looking down.
Mama's ribeye. Oh!
I screamed. My father turned on the lights in the house and ran out with a flashlight.
He climbed
into the
quick.
yard. I
Daddy!
pointed to the well and my father ran there. When he switched on the flashlight and lit the bottom of the well, he saw Max lying there. He was
No mas.
rescued. He broke his arm and was in rough shape. He
Wow.
had scratches all over him. Max was very lucky that he didn't die.
So where's the monster though?
Our father did not pay attention to our words and
Of
was
course
very
not.
angry. He said that Max simply fell down there because of his boyish foolery
Uh-huh.
and said that he would fill in the well the next day and there were no rakes. He did fill in the well. Perhaps the well was somehow connected with the local caves, and that's how the creature came to the surface, I guess. But
Huh.
we saw it. It exists. Maybe it's called something else in other places, but it was him. It was Rake. And we remembered it for the rest of our lives.
Wow. So, stole your mama's ribeye that she was gonna cook for Daddy tomorrow. Used it as bait, and Daddy thinks that he just fell down the well. I'm ready for part 2. I don't know about y'all. All right, part 2, baby. Let's do it.
It's been 3 years since that incident in the village.
All right.
The well was buried long ago,
Yeah.
and nothing more was heard about that creature.
Well, 3 years.
We were walking with Max along the river.
Uh-huh.
The day was hot, and we went swimming. It was already a little dark. The day was declining. Then, Max noticed something on the other side of the river.
Uh-oh.
Someone or something was lying on the rocks.
Oh, it's it.
We thought it might have been someone who needed help, so without any hesitation, we crossed to the other side.
Of course.
There was a huge tree lying there, and we used to walk on it a lot. When we crossed over to the other side and looked at what was lying on the ground, we realized that this was not a human. It was some kind of a creature.
Uh-oh.
Right away, we remembered
Rick.
that terrible scene from our early childhood.
Yeah.
That bony hand from the well, which clung to Max's head. It became uncomfortable. Max stopped too. We sat behind the roots of that tree/bridge and watched. It didn't move.
It was
Then
sleeping.
Max threw a stone in there.
What?
Silence. That's when we decided to get closer and take a picture of this thing.
Why would you do that, dude? He almost killed you one time by pulling you down a well. And I know Daddy didn't believe you, but it sure was real to you. You gonna throw a rock at it? You asking to get killed, man.
It didn't react to us, and it must have been dead a long time ago or without feelings. Approaching slowly, I could feel my heart beating, going
breathing.
faster. Something shapeless was lying on the ground. It looked like a mixture of an animal and a human, completely hairless. At that moment, a bright flash
Uh-oh.
of my brother's phone blinded everything around.
But it was
I
in the
guess
light.
I
Oh!
turned off.
It woke up.
I felt a powerful blow on my legs and fell. Then I heard a blood-curdling scream.
Oh my God.
Max grabbed my hand, and in a moment we ran away in a mad rush. I heard someone running after us, rasping breathing of some creature. Was it really him? Ray, how did he get out of the well? We noticed an old shack and ran straight into it.
Y'all said it might have been connected to
We
the
shot
caves.
the door with some stick, and then I noticed it wasn't exactly a house.
What was
It was some kind of an old mine entrance. There
Ah.
was silence. We were afraid to breathe. We
That's
heard
where it came
someone or something running around. Then it stopped. It was walking under the windows, breathing heavily.
Oh my gosh, dude. No!
Then there was a complete silence.
I knew it was coming. When I saw that little hole, at first I was like, just listening to the story, but I was like, this is gonna be a jump scare, huh?
Again, I felt a cold puff behind my back and some wheezing or growling.
Coming from in the mine?
My eyes gradually got used to the darkness, and we saw a huge, gaping mine aperture behind us.
Mm-mm. You better get out of there. Uh-oh, yeah. There's more rakes. There's more. Oh, and look, the original video, guys. He says, let's get 5,000 likes and he'll release part 3. You gotta go over to his channel and hit the like button for him, okay? We gotta see part 3. Guys, Creepy Animated Stories, that was a great one, man. Make sure to go over to his channel and subscribe. And I've got a couple other videos that are reacted to him from right here. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Break it down.